Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Wednesday, September 15th, at 8:25 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 672 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Tell all of our family to get vaccinated. COVID kills 6 members of Florida family in 3 weeks. Pfizer and Moderna's COVID vaccines may not work the same over time. Trump released a statement claiming the California recall election was rigged less than an hour after polls closed. Monica Lewinsky's thumb-flashing scene in impeachment is a recreation of exactly what happened, according to the showrunner. Buster Posey's 18th homer helps Giants to 9th straight win. Alex Murdaugh shooting was botched assisted suicide, cops say. Donald Trump predicts America will end within 3 years. Bernie Sanders says Senate Democrat weighing $1,000 voucher for seniors to purchase new Medicare benefits. Conservative watchdog files ethics complaint against AOC over Met Gala attendance. Patient reported she was forced to perform sex acts on Fort Worth hospital employee. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. North Korea fires 2 ballistic missiles as armed rivalry mounts, The New York Times. 5 takeaways after Governor Gavin Newsom prevails in California recall, CNN. Pfizer and Moderna's COVID vaccines may not work the same over time, Yahoo News. Taliban fighters reportedly brawl inside presidential palace over power divide, Fox News. Billions blown as Macau casino investors fold amid gambling review, Reuters. Not a single G20 country is in line with the Paris Agreement on climate, analysis shows, CNN. Tropical depression Nicholas could hamper recovery in Louisiana, which is still staggering after blow from Hurricane Ida, CNN. UK inflation rate posts biggest increase since records began, CNBC. US looking at India to secure staging post for Afghanistan strikes, if needed, Antony Blinken, The Tribune India. Alaska's largest hospital goes into crisis mode as patients wait hours to see ER doctors, HuffPost. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. GOP embraces vocal anti-vaxxers whose actions happen to be hurting the economy. Washington Post board thinks Florida Governor Ron DeSantis just sank to jaw-dropping new low. Why some activists want to postpone this year's big climate summit. 6 ways narcissistic bosses manipulate employees, and how to fight back. Primary colors are back, but this time for adults. Why this Latin American chef rejects the term Latinx. New book details Trump's foul-mouthed freakout over Kevin McCarthy's criticism. Twitter users taunt Biggest Loser Larry Elder after he was trounced in California recall. Tucker Carlson makes on-air plea to swollen testicled friend of Nicki Minaj's cousin. Biden throws some not-so-subtle shade at Trump without even saying his name. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Teen saves 4 sisters from house fire. Animation artist proposes at theater. Students sue over COVID vaccine mandate. Boy fighting for his life after metal hits him. Hundreds protest outside coup fraternity house. Missouri crews restoring power in Louisiana. PD, FBI helping investigate Dallas data loss. Widow receives husband's Bronze Star and Purple Heart 53 years later. Widow and family remember father who died. Report, City of Buckhead likely fiscally feasible. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, the New York Times. Gavin Newsom survives recall election and will remain governor. Cheers and tears too during Broadway's reopening night. EU creates agency to guide future pandemic responses. U.S. South at risk of floods from tropical depression Nicholas. Hive updates. Californians vote to keep Newsom as governor. North Korea fires 2 ballistic missiles as armed rivalry mounts. Halle Berry's new film, Bruised, lets her assert control. In rural Afghanistan, war remnants everywhere, but no shooting or checkpoints. How one principal got students back to a Bronx public school. The greatest killer in New Orleans wasn't the hurricane, it was the heat. The following headlines are from the sixth most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Las Vegas schools face referee shortage due to COVID-19 concerns, bad sportsmanship. Media push narrative that patriotism is adjacent to something evil, analysts say. The Guardian dubs Fauci sexiest man alive on Instagram, sparks viral mockery. Canadian man crushed to death by his own car at drive-thru was doting father of 2. Trump says China story may be bid to divert Afghanistan attention, but treason if true. Taliban fighters reportedly brawl inside presidential palace over power divide. Freak accident at BART rail station leaves San Francisco dog owner dead. Josh Hawley, Joe Biden responsible for Afghanistan disgrace packaged as success. Louisiana, human remains found inside alligator suspected of killing man in Ida floodwaters. Vaccine mandates are popular, even as Nicki Minaj and others take shots at the shots. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Wednesday, September 15th. The next headlines are from the seventh most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. Fourth stimulus check, will another relief payment happen this year? Child tax credit, when will your September payment arrive? Hand sanitizer exposures on rise, mother warns other parents after kindergartner collapses from alcohol poisoning. The next headlines are from the eighth most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Emma Raducanu visits the New York Stock Exchange after Met Gala debut. Sex attacker lay in wait for women at London Tube station before following and assaulting them. Glimpse of life in the Irish Defence Forces revealed in photographs. Sheffield woman starts domestic abuse support group after her cousin's body is found in cupboard. 5-year-old girl is found murdered after police rush to West London home. Westminster on high alert for Boris Johnson to reshuffle his top team. Stuart Lubbock's father dies of cancer. Terry Lubbock, 76, passes away. Swaths of countryside to be flooded to prepare for climate change. Eco-mob block motorways again, more than 80 climate activists hold up rush hour traffic. Is she going on Love Island? Shamima Begum shows off her manicure and Nike cap from refugee camp. The following headlines are from the ninth most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is The Washington Post World News Feed. The U.S. was a global leader in vaccinations, now it's falling behind. Pope urges compassion as he wraps Slovakia pilgrimage. How Belarus's cyber partisans exposed secrets of Lukashenko's crackdowns. China affirms UN peacekeeping role with multinational drills. Kelpie is an environmental problem, but now scientists say calves can be potty trained. Flash flood submerges southern French villages, fields. Australian fugitive surrenders after 3-decade beach stay. Small plane crashes in Indonesia's Papua, search on for crew. Slaughter of nearly 1,500 dolphins sparks outcry over traditional hunt in Faroe Islands. North Korea test fires 2 ballistic missiles just days after cruise missile launch. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors. The Guardian. This is The Guardian's US news feed. UK inflation hits highest figure in almost a decade as food prices rise. Business Live. No one wants to get sued. Some abortion providers stop working in Texas. Anti-masker abuse, subpar healthcare, and a 5-cent raise. CVS workers say enough is enough. John McEnroe stands by Wimbledon, comments on Raducanu. Landon Donovan, soccer means nothing when my players suffer. Bolsonaro cracks down on illegal mining in Amazon amid global pressure, for now. West Virginia battles COVID surge after failing to build on early vaccine success. Disney Plus is killing the blockbuster movie with its identical mega hits. Life can be different. 10 years ago, Occupy Wall Street changed the world. Cops is coming back to TV, and that's a depressing sign of the times. Charles Bromesco. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors. ABC News. Rival Koreas test missiles hours apart, raising tensions. COVID-19 live updates. U.S. forecast to surpass 1918 pandemic death toll in 2 weeks. Analysis. Newsom romps based on twin fears of COVID-19 and Trump. Afghanistan updates. Blinken faces second day of grilling on Capitol Hill. Colombo crime family brass arrested in crackdown on alleged mobsters. David Letterman, Conan O'Brien among stars mourning death of Norm Macdonald. Police, case of 4 found fatally shot in Wisconsin a mystery. COVID-19 cases climbing, wiping out months of progress. Tropical storm Nicholas takes aim on hard-hit Louisiana, latest path. Watch, gas station roof ripped off by Hurricane Nicholas. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. North Korea fires 2 ballistic missiles into East Sea, South says. Hong Kong, activists jailed for joining banned Tiananmen vigil. Ex-models demand change over French sex abuse laws. Curious Bears crash football game in India. Afghanistan, Taliban leaders in bust up at presidential palace, sources say. Britney Spears takes social media break following engagement. Metu, China court dismisses landmark sex harassment case. California recall, Democratic governor survives bid to oust him, U.S. media. Iranian musician risks prison for new album. When Nazis try to trace Aryan race myth in Tibet. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Joe Biden's plan to combat COVID-19 is more than a vaccine mandate, it's a testing mandate, too. AP top stories September 15th. Nicholas hits Texas coast, but weakens in strength, could still bring life-threatening flash flooding in the south. 1 out of every 500 Americans has died from COVID. Arizona sues over federal vaccine rules for workers. Live updates. Larry Elder concedes California recall defeat. Colleges push student vaccines as campuses reopen. California Governor Gavin Newsom easily fends off historic recall attempt. California Governor Gavin Newsom survives recall attempt. Dr. Anthony Fauci defends booster shots. New York judge blocks state's vaccination mandate for healthcare workers. Latest COVID-19 updates. Today in history for September 15th. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. French Laundry, pandemic, Trump, chaos, all played big as voters cast recall ballots. Newsom thanks California for rejecting the division, rejecting the cynicism. Did Newsom's no-and-go strategy limit votes on question 2? Column, the recall was a colossal waste, but don't expect California's GOP to learn from it. 5 takeaways from Newsom's big win in California's recall election. It's now Larry Elder's California GOP. What's his next move? Newsom soundly defeats California recall attempt. What to know as ballots are counted in the California recall election. More than 9.5 million Californians have voted, a sign of hope for Newsom. Earthquake, 3.0 quake shakes in San Fernando. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Wednesday, September 15th, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. Ancient spider caring for her offspring is trapped in 99-million-year-old amber. Disgust growing over vaccine protesters' Holocaust comparisons, demonstrators seen wearing yellow stars, holding pictures of Anne Frank. 90% of global farm subsidies damage people and planet, says UN. Apple fined $1,000 for hosting social gathering with more than 50 staff at Orchard Store. New Zealand bill to ban LGBTQ conversion practices receives record 100,000 submissions. U.S. Coast Guard spots Chinese warships off Alaska. Afghan female footballers evade Taliban, reach Pakistan. Chinese city in Yunnan builds food court for future migrating Asian elephants. Olympic marijuana ban to be re-examined after Sha'Carri Richardson's disqualification. U.S. defends deadly drone strike that killed innocent family after investigation reveals target was an aid worker. The Pentagon is still supporting a drone strike that killed 10 innocent Afghans, despite reports confirming the target was actually an aid worker. Dr. Congo president seeks review of mining contracts with China. Democratic Republic of the Congo is seeking what it says is a fair share of its vast mineral wealth. More than 850 anti-logging protesters are arrested in Canada, making history. More Europeans are taking climate change seriously. In the U.S., not so much. Faroe Islands defends slaughter of 1,428 dolphins that turn sea red with blood. China's ambassador banned from entering British Parliament. The next headlines are from Forbes. Russia's Nord Stream 2 is a fait accompli. Are the U.S. and Ukraine the losers? Parachute, the digitally native bed linens brand, follows customers' lead to expand into furniture. Property guru to ramp up fintech services as Singapore unicorn prepares for SPAC merger. North Korea test fires 2 ballistic missiles in violation of UN ban. Asia-focused SPAC Pacifico gains on Nasdaq debut, investor sees more cross-border flows. Young China profit may drop 60% on COVID-19 fallout, stock slides. Tickets to the Los Angeles Chargers Dallas Cowboys game comes with sticker shock. Illinois energy plan comes up short. The comedy world reacts to Norm Macdonald's passing. California Governor Gavin Newsom staves off recall effort, early results point to resounding win. The next headlines are from Nature.com. Politics will be poorer without Angela Merkel's scientific approach. The mentoring messages that can get lost in translation. COVID research prizes, CRISPR like enzymes and a face mask trial. The tangled history of mRNA vaccines. From the archive. Preventing spillover as a key strategy against pandemics. Anthropocene, event or epoch. Afghanistan, conflict risks local and global health. A sweet tooth gave ancient primates a mouthful of woe. Home working in COVID times, longer hours, fewer phone calls. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,731,664,225 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Downfall director Oliver Hirschspiegel and Albert Ohlens the painter picked up by Picture Tree International, trailer debuts exclusive. BTS teases permission to dance virtual concert. Tina wearies a special producer Puyoria on shooting the first Netflix original series filmed in Navarre. Venice Film Festival moves Italian box office needle with auspicious King of Laughter launch. Kissing Booth producer Andrew Kobolgan joins forces with millionaire matchmaker star Patty Stanger on new drama exclusive. Spain moves to address rights ownership and rules of engagement with streamers. Shaped by COVID, Busan Festival announces in-person event, seeks strategic change. Nightbooks review, a pint-sized horror scribe writes for his life. Gogwa acquires sales rights to Koreeda Hirokazu documentaries exclusive. Anna Bond, Sony Entertainment is embracing internal and external collaboration across Latin America. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. Fort Hood should be renamed after the first Hispanic four-star general, lawmakers say. The first all-civilian crew is about to orbit the Earth. U.S. Soccer is offering the same contracts for its men's and women's teams. North Korea fires 2 ballistic missiles into eastern waters. The Justice Department wants a federal judge to block Texas' new abortion ban. 3 of the biggest Broadway shows reopen with COVID rules. Gorillas at Atlanta Zoo have contracted COVID, probably from a zoo worker. An epidemiologist says at-home testing is key to stopping COVID. The Department of Justice says a data mining company fabricated medical diagnoses to make money. Your next iPhone could have 1 terabyte of storage. The following headlines are from The Week. COVID will stop the GOP in 2024. The curious case of the COVID-free conservatives. North and South Korea test ballistic missiles as Chinese envoy visits Seoul to restart nuclear talks. Late-night hosts remember comic Norm Macdonald, the single greatest guest in late-night history. Larry Elder says he was running against the left-wing media, not Gavin Newsom. Late-night hosts have questions, ideas, and jokes about Nicki Minaj's cousin's swollen testicles. Caitlyn Jenner tells Californians who voted to keep Newsom you kind of get the government you deserve. Newsom says recall rejection shows voters said yes to science, diversity, and economic justice. California Governor Gavin Newsom survives recall effort. Gavin Newsom tells Republicans claiming voter fraud to grow up. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. Missing in Brooks County, the missing migrant crisis haunts South Texas. The next headlines are from Universe Today. Why is James Webb traveling to the launch site by boat and not an airplane? Cosmic Dawn holds the answers to many of astronomy's greatest questions. Here's what it would be like to fly low over Jupiter's cloud tops. We knew black holes have a temperature, it turns out they also have a pressure. Here's our best view yet of asteroid Cleopatra. These are the news headlines for today, Wednesday, September 15th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the 3rd most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Impact on Jupiter surprises skywatchers. Missing impact debris mystery solved. Alpha Cephei, a fast-spinning star. The next news is from Politico. Pfizer to seek U.S. vaccine approval for children ages 6 months and up. Chinese ambassador barred from British Parliament. Soaring energy prices drive anxiety over European Union's climate plans. Kabul fell, and this ambassador was thrust into the spotlight. Dems' fiscal endgame could require punting on debt limit. Democrats grapple with faltering filibuster push. Democrats' House targets vanish as GOP redraws new maps. How Wisconsin is ruled by a shadow governor. Seoul, North Korea fires 2 ballistic missiles off coast. How Gavin Newsom survived the recall. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Europe approves Aussie test to detect how infectious a COVID case is. At least 55 QLD MPs support euthanasia, clearing path for historic vote. Martin one of up to a dozen contenders for Richmond captaincy. Government consulted councils months after announcing commuter car parks in their patch. Australian news live, Ballarat in regional Victoria back in lockdown, curfews lift in Sydney's LGAs of concern. Abuser housed with vulnerable children despite his pleas to child protection, report reveals. Australia's medical regulator accuses Craig Kelly of copyright breach. Police to shut down Melbourne CBD ahead of anti-lockdown rally. Future of health workers uncertain as thousands remain unvaccinated ahead of deadline. How to have a healthy sex life in your 20s, 30s, 40s and beyond. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Outside the box, why this fund combination is better than the S&P 500. Energy commodities have been the best performing asset against inflation, research finds. Here's what else works. Student debt is keeping many Americans from becoming homeowners, and COVID didn't help. Peter Morici, Western water crisis demands a strong federal state response. Market snapshot, U.S. stock futures point to a bounce ahead of more economic data. Auto Trader, how does this car seem to run on almost nothing? It's really quite something. Next Avenue, bored and stuck in your job, here's the secret to being happy at work. NerdWallet, 7 tips to avoid getting COVID or other illnesses when you fly. The Moneyest, my deadbeat dad arrived at my brother's communion high on cocaine. He punched the cab driver. Am I liable for his end-of-life care? The Big Move, my son is an unemployed, disabled veteran who couch surfs with friends. Should I use my inheritance to help him buy a home? Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Local history, Elliott Museum celebrates ingenuity of Sterling Elliott, its namesake, T.C. Palm. 2021 Center for Medicines Research, CMR, Pharmaceutical R&D Fact Book from Clarivat finds drug approvals at a 10-year high despite the challenges of COVID-19, PR Newswire UK. Can artificial intelligence be an inventor under patent law? Australian federal court says yes but US district judge says no, Lixology. Cryptocurrency world must protect itself from low-quality patents says Square lawyer as Bees joins Open Invention Network, the Register. Defense Department launches 2021 update on economic significance of unlicensed patents, TechLink. Keep Truckin wins 2 decisions of the Patent Trial and Appeal Board, Business Wire. Patenting nanotechnology inventions, an Indian milieu, intellectual property, India, Mondak News alerts. Dexcom fights Abbott's bid to invalidate its diabetes tech IP, Law 360. $8 billion Sobi takeover shows orphan drug IP assets are in high demand. IAM. Pfizer partners with HealthCore, PR Newswire. The next headlines are from Quartz. ESG is broken but we cannot afford to scrap it. California's love for its governor. A Nigerian oil palm startup raised $4 million to build a smart factory. Can a musician obsessed with sustainability tour responsibly? A Chinese property giant is a $300 billion time bomb for Beijing. What automakers need for success in India's huge passenger car market. SpaceX will launch the first tourists to orbit since 2009. How Delta Airlines mandated employee vaccinations without losing workers. Regulators across the U.S. are targeting the food delivery industry. Remote possibilities. The following headlines are from TechDirt. Mistrial declared in Backpage founders' trial, after Department of Justice ignores judges' rules regarding what it could present. Kickstarter for hand-drawn video game manual shuts down due to IP threat. Critics of patent waivers are claiming they were right, despite no patent waiver actually issuing yet. Dallas PD hid massive data deletion for months from city officials, district attorney's office. Commentator insists that fact-checking is an attack on free speech. Apple patches up devices in response to the exposure of yet another NSO group exploit. Daily Deal, the 2021 complete all-in-one Adobe Creative Cloud Suite course bundle. I am Rupert Murdoch's total lack of shame, now demanding intermediary liability protections for News Corporation. Biden Competition Council urges Biden FCC to do things it cannot do because Biden hasn't fully staffed it yet. Department of Justice says federal agents will start wearing body cameras. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. PSG. Tropical Depression Nicholas. Marsha P. Johnson. General Milley. John Wall. The Last Duel. Tax the Rich Dress. Chelsea. Bob Anyard. Barcelona Bayern. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. South Korea hails successful test of submarine-launched ballistic missile, after 2 Korean projectiles land off Japan. Ready to play 90 minutes plus extra time, Brazil legend Pelé issues health update after leaving intensive care in Sao Paulo. They're all good, McGregor and Machine Gun Kelly made peace after red carpet brawl which dragged in Megan Fox, says UFC boss White. UK inflation sees highest increase on record after dramatic spike caused by heavily discounted eat-out incentive scheme. Russia demands answers from US ambassador over election interference, as Moscow says it has proof of serious sabotage efforts. Gas price in Europe smashes historic high as EU debates limiting Russian imports. China sets out to rein in country's bloated EV industry. Nord Stream 2 in limbo as Germany prepares to decide on key license. North Korea fires 2 unidentified projectiles days after testing long-range cruise missile, reports. California Governor Newsom claims victory against cynicism and bigotry, after taking huge lead in recall vote. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. A swarm of 700 earthquakes rattles Canary Islands, sparks speculation of volcanic eruption. UK military to trial lasers in novel weapons program. Taliban urges US to show heart after raking in $1.2 billion at UN donor conference. Over 2/3 of businesses worldwide report hiring difficulties. Spanish government announces temporary tax cuts to relieve consumers after record power prices. Calls for investigation grow as close ties emerge between Huawei, Cambridge Research Center. Iran replaces veteran nuclear negotiator with hardliner as Vienna talks still in doubt. California Governor Newsom projected to survive recall election, elder topped alternates. Constitution Day 2021, it's time to make America free again. China lodges formal protest with U.S. over possible Taiwan diplomatic office name change. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Trump aides seek to build opposition to Afghan refugees in U.S. Pakistan, Russia to coordinate positions on Afghanistan. U.S. border crisis is born of failed climate and migration policies. Dispatches from Sudan's revolution, suddenly TV. Crucial changes at Iran's foreign ministry ahead of nuclear talks. Extreme weather to cost U.S. over $100 billion this year, Joe Biden. K-craze, Korean dramas and culture are taking India by storm. Fossil of land-roaming whale species found in Egypt. SoftBank ventures into Saudi Arabia in a deal with Wealth Fund. Taliban fighters make themselves at home in Dostum's mansion. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Gavin Newsom to remain in office, Democrats want to limit future recalls. California recall exit poll, pandemic top concern, homelessness second. Joe Biden declares by and large positive support for coronavirus vaccine mandates. Rand Paul calls for Milley to be court-martialed, removed if he went around Trump, colluded with China. GOP Senator Rish, Biden admin, calling Taliban a government is recognizing a terrorist coup and a slap in the face to veterans. Trump on dumbass Milley, action should be taken immediately for secret calls with China. Restaurant critic, California recall not possible without Gavin Newsom's French laundry scandal. Hive updates California governor recall election results. Analysis, Afghan population in U.S. explodes, majority live on welfare. Joe Biden breaks pledge, raises taxes on Americans' earnings over $50K. The next headlines are from UPI News. Missouri men's random lottery numbers pay off after several years. Watch, Scottish charity asking for public's help with squirrel survey. Watch, necklace urn containing ashes found in Missouri Walmart parking lot. Look, teenager breaks Minnesota fishing record with 46.1/4-inch pike. Ohio corn maze post tribute to Jack Nicklaus. Watch, long-lost Baroque painting found hanging in New York church. Watch, stuck horse hoisted from well in Florida field. Runner in brain costume attempting marathon world record. The next headlines are from Odd, Strange and Bizarre Things. Some of the world's strangest murders, some of which remain unsolved. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. Locals are interrupting violence in Minneapolis, one lawn chair at a time. Abandoned airport turned into sensory experience park providing green refuge in crowded Taiwan City. Astronaut brings ashes and photos of 9/11 victim to space to fulfill his lifelong dream of orbiting for NASA. Cows are being potty trained to save the planet, animal-loving researchers are moved by the results. This asteroid is a $10,000 quadrillion lump of iron and a potential opportunity to study an exposed planetary car. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Wednesday, September 15th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Lawyer dressed as Michael Myers arrested after roaming Texas speech as prank, cops say. Iranian musician risks prison for new album. The American Medical Association, AMA, American Pharmacists Association, APA, and American Society of Health System Pharmacists, ASHP, strongly oppose the ordering, prescribing, or dispensing of ivermectin to prevent or treat COVID-19 outside of a clinical trial. Naked driver takes toll on collectors. Lab-grown woolly mammoths could walk the earth in 6 years if geneticists' new startup succeeds. Turns out cows can be potty trained as easily as toddlers, maybe easier. Massachusetts National Guard activated to help deal with school bus driver shortage, CBS Boston. Butterflies released in Finland contained parasitic wasps, with more wasps inside. Los Angeles Police Department badly miscalculated weight of fireworks before South LA explosion, ATF fines. Deputies, Florida man shot family dog in head during argument with girlfriend. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. The real winners of the Apple event are Apple Watch band owners. The new iPad mini was the best part of yesterday's Apple's event. The iPhone 13 cinematic mode is going to change mobile filmmaking forever. Everything Apple announced at its big iPhone 13 event. Researchers lay the groundwork for an AI hive mind. Move over micro-mobility, Dance e-bikes has a new way to hire an e-bike. Why solid-state EV batteries are better than their lithium-ion counterpart. Before we colonize Mars, we need to find a way to have sex in space. It's your last shot at getting Babbel language learning at one of its lowest prices of the year. Get 12 months of PlayStation Plus for under $50, and we'll throw you an extra $20 just because. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Physical distance may not be enough to prevent viral aerosol exposure indoors. New DNA-based chip can be programmed to solve complex math problems. COVID-19 antibodies persist, reduce reinfection risk for up to 6 months, study finds. A possible new pathway for treating epileptic seizures in patients with autism. Researchers discover hormonal regulatory module for root elongation. Prehistoric humans rarely mated with their cousins. Cholesterol drives Alzheimer's plaque formation. Long-term benefit of SABR for operable early-stage NSCLC shown in new study. New ocean temperature data helps scientists make their hot predictions. Study links severe COVID-19 to increase in self-attacking antibodies. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Wednesday, September 15th from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA selects 5 U.S. companies to mature Artemis lander concepts. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Salt Lake City Council extends mayor's mask mandate for schools. Utah parents are refusing to talk to health officials, so COVID-19 cases in schools are undercounted, the state says. No vote from state lawmakers on $3 plan for Salt Lake City homelessness overflow shelter. Utah's water outlook slightly improved, but West remains in grip of long-term drought. Salt Lake City mayor puts new trail construction on hold to rethink approach. Utah prosecutors urge lawmakers to pass bill abolishing death penalty. Cost for fighting wildfires in Utah drops, but we're not done yet. Judge tosses out James Huntsman's tithing lawsuit against LDS Church, but an appeal looms. Read the judge's ruling rejecting James Huntsman's lawsuit against the LDS Church. Bayou men's basketball coach Mark Pope touts this season's non-conference schedule is toughest of his tenure. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. Indian researchers create a Raspberry Pi-based device to monitor health. Massive transatlantic data cable landed on beach in Bude. Simple mathematical law predicts movement in cities around the world. Scientists can now assemble entire genomes on their personal computers in minutes. Comcast will soon launch smart TVs under its new X-Class TV brand. SEC charges App Annie with securities fraud in $10 million settlement. Russia fines Facebook, Twitter for not deleting banned content. Millions with eye conditions at higher risk of dementia, shows research. Twitter reopens its account verification process after another pause. Facebook's own research shows Instagram is harmful to teens, report says. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. St. Louis in sole possession of second NL wildcard after win versus Mets. You paid for it, University City moving council chambers out of City Hall. St. Louis County Council approves COVID-19 vaccine mandate for county employees. Lawmakers question new state health director on mask, vaccine mandates during first meeting. We were fully packed. Hell's Kitchen fans visit Maplewood Restaurant for season 20 finale. Thunderstorms contain gusty winds, lightning, downpours across metro area. Staffing shortages temporarily close for total access urgent cares in St. Louis area. Ferguson Fluorescent Music Teacher Missouri Teacher of the Year. Fallen Wentzville Marine, Missouri military members killed in Afghanistan honored on Capitol Hill. Human remains found in a vacant Wellston home. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. John Cox says recall election put career politicians, insiders on notice. There is more to come, Faulconer addresses supporters. 5 takeaways after Newsom survives California recall attempt. AP projects, California recall fails, Newsom stays in office. Majority of California voters would re-elect Newsom in 2022, exit poll. 18-year-old man arrested in pair of sex assaults. Police seek information on men involved in BB gun shooting on UCSD campus. Nearly half of California voters decided who to support in recall election more than a month ago, exit poll. Monster variant, Fauci warns lack of COVID-19 vaccinations could lead to virus mutation. County supervisors vote 3-1 for reproductive freedom resolution. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. Taliban find dozens of ballistic missiles in Panjshir Valley. U.S. Navy aerial refueling drone refuels F-35 for the first time. Russian military fields new B-19 combat vehicle. The next headlines are from SUP China, top news about China. In 1973, the Philadelphia Orchestra did its part to kickstart modern U.S.-China relations. China's Fujian province battles Delta flare-up as vaccine rollout approaches 80% goal. Internet users praise volleyball player Sun Wenjing for coming out photo with her girlfriend. Age of Awakening, a Chinese revolutionary drama becomes a cultural touchstone and propaganda coup. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Wednesday, September 15, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Facebook has data showing Instagram leaves some users depressed. Seoul, North Korea fires 2 ballistic missiles off East Coast. Groom, best man stuck in elevator before wedding in Emeryville. Exit poll shows demographics of California recall election voters. Effort to recall Sonoma County Vigil ravage fails. Local officials react to Governor Newsom staying in power as recall fails. Norm Macdonald's friends, co-stars pay tribute to late comedian, no one like him on this planet. Betadine's maker says you shouldn't ingest it for COVID-19 treatment, or any other reason. Wrongly convicted man freed from death row dies of COVID-19. Newsom defeats recall, will remain California governor. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. The latest, Afghan women's soccer players enter Pakistan. Defending champion Dodgers beat D-backs, clinch playoff spot. Few voting issues reported with California recall election. California Governor Gavin Newsom projected to remain in power in failed recall effort. Non Wooden, daughter of UCLA coach John Wooden, dies at 87. Asian stocks follow Wall Street lower amid growth concerns. Alert issued for missing 80-year-old man from Wakanda. Cronin won't run again for DuPage County Board Chairman, but not going anywhere. Parents asked Glen Ellyn officials to push protesting anti-maskers away from elementary school. Police sergeant says department retaliated after he blew the whistle on supervisor. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. 9 of Seattle's best pumpkin patches that also offer corn mazes, fall festivals. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Red alert for Tropical Cyclone Chanthu 21. Population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 5.037 million. Green alert for Tropical Cyclone Nicholas 21. Population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0.476 million. Drought is ongoing in Brazil. Drought is ongoing in Canada, United States. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Paraguay. Drought is ongoing in Burkina Faso, Benin, Central African Republic, Cameroon, Ghana, Niger, Nigeria. Drought is ongoing in Angola. Drought is ongoing in Armenia, Azerbaijan, Greece, Iraq, Iran, Jordan, Syria, Turkey. Drought is ongoing in United States. Drought is ongoing in Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Russia, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Wednesday, September 15th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. An Houston gas station shooting may have been sparked by car door hitting another, police say. Nicholas weakens to tropical depression as it slowly moves across southeast Texas. Some roads impassable due to high water from Hurricane Nicholas. Nicholas moves away from Houston. Explainer: 4 tourists will circle Earth on first SpaceX private flight. California Governor Gavin Newsom beats back GOP-led recall. Family of man killed send message to 21-year-old suspected drunk driver, "We miss our cousin." Houston Rockets and John Wall reportedly working to find trade deal, sources say. Houston area families frustrated by power outages that could last days, "I'm just kind of over it." Worst case scenario for power outages 5-7 days, Centerpoint says. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Stung by Afghan debacle, EU forges ahead with security plans. Global stocks mixed as growth concerns weigh on sentiment. Quintuple stimulus voucher website goes live with one catch, no English. New stars, old problems for Man United in Champions League. Most states have cut back public health powers amid pandemic. Exclamation point, BuzzFeed lists top 7 boob-related food to try in Taiwan. Zimbabwe's older people often sent to homes amid pandemic. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Temporary restraining order issued against NYC vaccine or test requirement for city employees. Long-awaited bike lane opens on Brooklyn Bridge. Extra, here are 179 photos from the Met Gala red carpet. Advocates blame Mayor de Blasio for death of 3-month-old killed by driver. Looking back at Attica, prisoners' right to true religious freedom. Attendance slips on first day back for NYC public schools. Federal judge temporarily blocks NY vaccine mandate for healthcare workers. Norm Macdonald, comedian and SNL alum, has died at 61. Coronavirus statistics, back to school edition, tracking outbreaks in NYC education. The massive Dior show at the Brooklyn Museum is an instant hit. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. The COVID-19 youth employment crisis in Asia and the Pacific. 76th General Assembly get underway at UN headquarters in New York. After 10 years of war in Syria, siege tactics still threaten civilians. UN mission responding to evolving needs in Sudan transition process. Only 2% of COVID-19 vaccines have been administered in Africa. Forced humanitarian flight to Kabul marks turning point in crisis, WFP. From K-pop heroes to net zero, 5 things to look out for at UNGA 76. Most agricultural funding distorts prices, harms environment, UN report. As war keeps poisoning humanity, organizing continues to be the antidote. Food Systems Summit Scientific Threat. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. Hot mic catches Israeli health minister admitting vaccine passports are about coercion. Report, 14 Israelis infected with COVID despite third vaccine dose. Michigan healthcare system says workers with natural immunity don't need vaccine. Outrage over George W. Bush 9/11 speech attacking American extremists. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Jury begins deliberations in Robert Durst murder trial. Yes, activists took down the Texas GOP's website over restrictive abortion law. Missouri cave with ancient Native American drawings sold. Norm Macdonald, former Saturday Night Live comic, dies. Nicki Minaj tweeted her cousin wouldn't get vaccinated because his friend got swollen testicles from it. Yes, Portland really did name a new bridge after Ned Flanders. Did Biden take photo with kids in Trump hats? Jason Derulo didn't fall down Met Gala stairs. Noble, scientists potty train cows to use Mulu. Did Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez wear tax the rich dress to Met Gala? We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. For F-word's sake, tune out Dr. Minaj and Professor Hanks. Cops in this state still don't want to explain why they kill people. The gruesome horror flick Malignant is James Wan's best work in years. Why Texas abortion snitches will target black women most. Democrats lost state houses, then they lost the abortion war. Ex-InfoWars star sells mysterious gadget dubbed the Cucks. California takes privileged Newsom over extremist elder. Gavin Newsom survives California recall vote after Larry Elder made like Trump and cried fraud beforehand. Tucker urges Nicki Minaj's cousin's friend to call him about swollen testicles. Bets Karen thriller is a foolish, predictable, unexpectedly good time. The next headlines are from the New York Post. The man who turned down the jets to be a train conductor. Norm Macdonald life and photos. Hurricane Nicholas slams Texas. Indianapolis firefighters battle auto yard blaze that destroyed 40 cars. Bryson DeChambeau wrecked hands prepping for long drive contests. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Explore the sky with ABERWORKS 2065 ED Deluxe binoculars. When North goes south, is Earth's magnetic field flipping? You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. U.S. battles dangerous COVID surge as IPUs fill up nationwide. Haley Arsenault to make history with SpaceX flight. COVID hospitalizations and deaths remain high. Nicholas threatens Gulf Coast with catastrophic floods. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis to fine local governments that mandate employee vaccinations. Nicholas could bring life-threatening flash floods to Deep South. States take aim at ubiquitous and false recycling symbol. Fossil of prehistoric land roaming whale species is identified. Stunning images capture rare megapod of humpback whales. Experts warn of heightened back-to-school anxiety as kids return to classrooms. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. California recall fails, Governor Gavin Newsom stays in office. Researchers accidentally release parasitic wasp butterflies in Finland. Arrest made in shooting of South Carolina lawyer Alex Murdaugh, report. Police begging for help and returning heart surgeon's stolen glasses. Reopening of 3 monster Broadway shows signals wait is over. Alanis Morissette skips Toronto Film Festival premiere of Jagged Little Pill documentary, calls final cut salacious. 249 Germans convicted under Nazi-era anti-gay law have received reparations. Around 1/3 of New Orleans hasn't had trash picked up in 2 weeks following Hurricane Ida. General Milley feared Trump would launch military strike against China in final days of presidency, Woodward book. The following headlines are from military.com. VA employee tweets out details of a surgery no vet would want public. Milley, fearful of Trump's rhetoric, called China to promise U.S. wouldn't strike, book says. What does the Air Force do with a trashed F-35? Turn it into a training tool. Soldiers have 3 months to get COVID vaccine or face discharge, with few waiver options. Taliban's foreign minister says government won't allow militant attacks on others. I had to get rid of her, Hawaii-based soldier admits beating wife to death with baseball bat. 4 will circle Earth on first SpaceX private flight. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Holocaust survivors penned memoirs of their hometowns so future generations would know about them. Chicago woman attended her first therapy session the day before allegedly shooting 7th grade son, displayed weird, erratic behaviors. Lightfoot to name San Antonio Schools Chief Pedro Martinez as new CPS CEO, sources say. Southern Illinois reported 0 available intensive care unit beds this week, amid COVID-19 surge. Illinois Board of Ed defends punishment over mask mandate violations, tactics one lawmaker called heavy-handed. Chicago charter elementary school shifts to remote learning after 3 COVID-19 cases reported Monday. Chicago cop files suit saying he faced retaliation after blowing whistle on superior who allegedly directed resources to his stray during 2020 unrest. Chicago Ald. Jim Gardner publicly apologizes for rants, 1 day after sources identify him as subject of an FBI probe. I take full responsibility for my offensive words. Chicago police get first new contract since 2017, with 20% raises including back pay, passes city council on 40-8 vote. Lightfoot proposes new ordinance targeting gang members for fines and forfeiture in civil court. The following headlines are from FIS.org. Bandicoot species back from the brink on Australian mainland. Natural cycles in the Gulf of Alaska accentuate ocean acidification. Road have far-reaching impact on chimpanzees. U.S. startup aims to transform pet food with lab-made chow. SpaceX's first tourists all set for campervan trip to space. In first, SpaceX to send all civilian crew into Earth orbit. 5 key facts on inspiration for space mission. 18 of 20 gorillas at Atlanta Zoo have contracted COVID. Report, most nations fall far short in plans to curb warming. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Wednesday, September 15th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. Why smart feeding tubes can benefit patients and the environment. What's the most remote volcano on land? The forgotten tale of a black mariner during the age of exploration. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. UK posts the biggest jump in annual inflation on record. Ex-jihadi bride asks UK for forgiveness, aims to return home. Chinese property developers' debt struggle rattles investors. EU pledges 200 million more COVID vaccine doses to Africa. The following headlines are from mercurynews.com. Word Game, September 15, 2021. Bridge, September 15, 2021. Horoscope, September 15, 2021. Prince Harry, don't wait to see what others are going to do. Ask Amy, he gets angry if I yawn when he's talking. Harriet Cole, since I found out about his zero wax videos, I feel like I don't know him anymore. Miss Manners, my neighbor sat down and ate the frosting off the cake with a spoon. Dear Abby, I want a chance to wear the masculine clothes. Larry Elder claims his own victory, of sorts. Oakland, Interstate 580 reopens after fatal crash. SF Giants have longest win streak since 2004, Posey homers as pitchers dominate Padres. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Senate Republicans urge Blinken to designate Taliban as a foreign terrorist organization. Ex-cops accused of violating Floyd's rights plead not guilty. Gavin Newsom survives recall election in California. Austin Scott Miller, top U.S. general in Afghanistan, told chain of command he opposed withdrawal. Donald Trump, top Republicans call for General Mark Milley's ouster over China report. Arizona Supreme Court allows release of 2020 election audit records. Joe Biden urges Congress to act on climate change by passing spending packages. Judge rejects ballot question to scrap Minneapolis Police Department. Illegal migrant children surge flows to steady stream. AOC faces ethics complaint over Met Gala appearance. The next headlines are from The Intercept. No accountability for war on terror atrocities. 10 months after Senate election loss, Sarah Gideon still has $10 million in unused campaign funds. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Wednesday, September 15, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Bears WR Marquise Goodwin, offense played into CB Jalen Ramsey's hand in 34-14 loss. 17-year-old boy shot while driving in Englewood. Teen boy, 14, shot in Chatham drive-by. Horoscope for September 15, 2021. 14-year-old shot in East Garfield Park. California Governor Gavin Newsom stays in power as recall fails. San Antonio School Superintendent Pedro Martinez to be named new Chicago Public School CEO, report. White Sox Ryan Tepera, finger, Andrew Vaughn, back, latest to go on injured list. White Sox have almost all, their toys back. What now? The best fun you can have. 4-run fifth inning lifts Cubs to 6-3 victory against Phillies. The next headlines are from the Times of India. New iPad versus previous generation iPad 8th generation. Lick IPO, why Indian law firms are reluctant to advise government. Ranveer's fashion moments are Met Gala worthy. COVID letter, booster doses not needed yet, says Lancet Review. Indian players weren't wearing masks at book launch. Quick edit, justice delayed is dangerous for society. iPhone 13 series proves India matters for Apple. In pics, penguin colony in Mumbai Zoo gets 2 new members. For next pandemic, we'll have gigantic Myrna factories in India. MG Aster SUV unveiled, bookings open on September 19th. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Wednesday, September 15th, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Things to do, where to celebrate National Cheeseburger Day in Houston. Houston theaters begin to announce COVID protocols. Best of Houston 2021, Best Service. This week's best concerts. Best of Houston 2021, Best Pizza, Thin Crust. Best of Houston 2021, Best Bar. Best of Houston 2021, Pandemic Pivot in the Performing Arts. Room to Grow for ESPN's MNF Manning Cast. Nicholas exits stage right as outages persist. Power outages from Nicholas likely to linger. The next headlines are about world records making news. Mexican athlete achieved 4 Guinness World Record titles, The Hunt's India. Hula hoop world record holder attacked in park for wearing revealing clothing, Yahoo News. Man wants to set Guinness World Record by running in the London Marathon as a brain, Times Now. New world record set at 71st Boris Hansakovic Memorial in Zagreb, Total Croatia News. Yuri Isetic, hammer world record holder, dies at 66, Lexington Herald leader. Chloe McCardle sets sights on new world record-breaking swim, women's agenda. Over 200th DJs to attempt world record for longest ever beat to be set, DJ Mag. Athletics Nidayonsabis smashes women's 2000 world record, the mighty 790 KFGO News. Neil Agius submitted documentation for world record swim, it's like a mini thesis, Love in Malta. Australian Chloe McCardle chases record 44th English Channel crossing, Swimming World magazine. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. North and South Korea both launch ballistic missile tests within hours of each other. The Nintendo Switch finally adds support for Bluetooth headphones. Department of Justice, former NSA operatives worked as cyber mercenaries, helping hack U.S. systems. A Venom vs. Spider-Man showdown, Andy Serkis says don't rush it. Open Channel, what should Mike Flanagan's next Haunting adaptation be? You'll be able to upgrade to iOS 15 on September 20th. Watch Rick and Morty's live-action garage being built from the ground up. Nation's top general reportedly held secret meeting to cut off Trump from nukes. App delivery workers in NYC are underpaid, mistreated, and often injured, new report finds. Anonymous claims to have stolen huge trove of data from Epic, the right-wing's favorite web host. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Adrar in Algeria at 113.54 degrees Fahrenheit or 45.3 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Vostok in Antarctica at minus 91.12 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 68.4 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Globally, climate change drives a willingness to change lifestyles. Storage galore, new PS5 update finally lets users add more space for games. Xiaomi shows off smart glasses with an all-green, micro-LED, waveguide display. It's all in the ink, Vinland map is definitely a fake, new analysis finds. In a first, New York passes law banning new fossil fuel vehicle sales after 2034. Travis C.I. Flaw exposed secrets of thousands of open-source projects. Biden's baffling FCC delay could give Republicans a 2-1 FCC majority. The stormy relationship between solar power and the weather. iOS 15 brings new FaceTime and AI features on September 20th. Apple announces iPhone 13 in 4 flavors, Mini, Regular, Pro, and Pro Max. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Lauren Boebert parties in NYC with Capitol rioters and AOC challenger. A clear repudiation, Larry Elder's mammoth defeat may signal the death rattle of Trumpism. Gavin Newsom survives GOP effort to recall him as California governor. Dennis Kucinich concedes after failing to make Cleveland mayoral runoff. Biden's Department of Justice seeks emergency order blocking Texas from enforcing Republicans' anti-abortion law. This is not accidental, ex-cop says Michigan governor sabotaged his disastrous campaign event. Infamous anti-vax pastor throws tantrum after Twitter ban, and claims he was kicked off for gospel bombs. Black school committee members' qualifications questioned by anti-maskers, even though she has Ph.D. in education. I have found lies and fraud. Minnesota MAGA writer tries acting as his own lawyer, and it doesn't go well. Trump was an unstable person and many Republicans secretly admitted it, former GOP lawmaker. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Anxious about climate, 4 in 10 young people are wary of having kids. Biden just handed a bone to Big Almond. The California recall effort has officially failed. California's recall election rules are dumb. Bojack Horseman offers a better option. Democrats just introduced a new voting rights bill. It's going nowhere if they don't reform the filibuster. Bad bosses. I worked as a mail carrier. My boss accused me of malicious compliance. The nonprofit boss who had a special hatred for women of color. I worked at a prison. My boss stalked me to prove I wasn't injured. I did social media for a baseball team. My boss was worried I'd sleep with the players. The next items are today's top search results for Bigfoot. Listen, WA Group brings science to the legend of Sasquatch, Crosscut. The following items are today's top search results for the term neural plasticity. Increasing and decreasing interregional brain coupling increases and decreases oscillatory activity in the human brain, pnas.org. 3 UWA researchers recipients of Young Tall Poppy Science Awards, University News, the University of Western Australia. Comparative Genomics provides insights into the aquatic adaptations of mammals, pnas.org. Ayahuasca, everything you need to know, MENAFNCOM. Ayahuasca, everything you need to know. Star the Costa Rican News, the Costa Rican News. Kreba and Krebin to identify neurons gate long-term memory formation in Drosophila, pnas.org. BDNF depression and subjective sleep quality and pregnancy JMDH, Dove Medical Press. Taking lessons from a sea slug, study points to better hardware for artificial intelligence, Purdue News Service. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Wednesday, September 15, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. Breaking, Congressional Bill for New UFO UAP Investigations Unit put on Union Calendar. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Wednesday, September 15, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News8. All rights reserved.